Good evening. Oh, wait. Let's try that again. Okay, sorry. Good evening. If anybody would like to speak on any of the items tonight, the sign-up sheet is over there. We can sign in prior to the meeting beginning. So it's right there in that binder over there on the table. All right, and then we need to start our meeting with our invocations. We're going to let Councilman for tonight.
Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for the blessing of the day you've given us. We thank you, Father, for the rain that you have been sending. Pray that you would continue to send it, for it is a blessing for our city and our community. Father, we thank you for all those who are attended this evening. Pray, Father, that we might be a wise counsel, and you would give us the gift of discernment. We would make wise decisions. Bring about the best that we can for our city and for our community. Pray, Father, for your guidance and direction this evening in Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen. All right, we'll call this meeting to order at 6:30 p.m. and we'll start that party. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one citizen under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the United one state under God, one indivisible. So tonight we do have a full forum. We have Councilman Kravitz. Right, so we're going to start with our reports, our presentations, and our proclamations. And tonight we're going to start with the presentation of a proclamation for Sexual Assault Awareness Month from the Crisis Center of Comal County. And okay, here we go. Where Sexual Assault Awareness Month calls attention to the fact that sexual violence is widespread and impacts every person in the community. SAAM, which is the Sexual Assault Awareness Month, aims to raise public awareness about sexual violence and educate communities about to prevent it. And whereas Alberta residents who are sexual assault survivors are valued members of the community as employees, volunteers, business owners, loving family members, friends, role models, and whereas Sexual Assault Awareness Month has been recognized annually during the month of April since 2001. August is the 25th anniversary of Sexual Assault Awareness Month. We as a community will continue to raise public awareness and educate our residents on prevention against sexual violence. And whereas for 40 years, the Comal County Crisis Center has served countless survivors of sexual assault and has provided wrap-around services, staff, and volunteers at the Crisis Center of Comal County and other prevention-related programs in this county encourage every person to speak out when witnessing acts of violence, however small, and speak up when they hear others making light of sexual violence, stereotypes, or gender bias. And whereas with leadership, dedication, and encouragement, there is compelling evidence that we can be successful in reducing sexual violence in our county through prevention education, increased awareness, and holding perpetrators who commit acts of violence responsible for their actions. And whereas we strongly support the efforts of national, state, and local partners, and of every resident to actively engage in public and private efforts, including conversations about what sexual violence is, how to prevent it, how to help survivors, connect with services, and how every segment of society can work together to better address sexual violence. Now, therefore, I, Helen Harris, Mayor of the City of Alberta, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby proclaim April 26th as Sexual Assault Awareness Month and urge residents to join this Crisis Center of Comal County anti-sexual violence advocates and support services programs in the belief that all community members must be part of the solutions to end sexual violence. Proclaim this 14th day of April 2026. I didn't know if you wanted to wait until now or after, that's how I was asking, however you want to do it. Okay, okay, we'll do that. We want to thank you, Mayor and City Council, for recognizing Sexual Assault Awareness Month. In the last year, the Crisis Center actually served 13, sorry, I'm trying to get out of the way, so I'm not staying in front of anybody, 1,373 survivors with 36,000. And 70% of our children find themselves at midnight. So, we as a Crisis Center and those of us who are helping bring awareness, we're trying to break generational trauma. But we're really excited. In the next few weeks, we're going to get the keys to our brand new shelter, going from 24 occupants to 90 occupants, which is pretty huge. And we'll be having our grand opening and birthday party June 25th. So we'd love you guys to come out for that and make sure that you guys help stand with us. For the presentation of a proclamation for Child Abuse Prevention Awareness Month, Children's Advocacy Center of Comal County. Whereas there were nearly 51,985 confirmed victims of child abuse and neglect in Texas during 2025. And whereas 239 children in Comal County were confirmed victims of abuse and neglect in 2025. And whereas child abuse prevention is a community responsibility and finding solutions depends on involvement among all people. Whereas communities must make every effort to promote programs that benefit children and their families. And whereas effective child abuse prevention programs succeed because of partnerships among agencies such as CASA, DFBS, SJRC, WOM, Children's Advocacy Center of Comal County, the Comal County Child Welfare Board, schools, religious organizations, law enforcement agencies, and the business community. And whereas everyone in the community should become more aware of child abuse prevention and encourage parents to raise their children in a safe, nurturing environment. Now, therefore, I, Helen Hayes, Mayor of the City of Valverde, on behalf of the City Council, do hereby proclaim April 26th as Child Abuse Prevention Month and urge all citizens to work together to help reduce child abuse and neglect significantly in the years to come, proclaimed this 14th day of April 2026. All right. Here. I'll get to it. It is an honor to represent the Comal County alongside other multiple disciplinary partners across the Crisis Center of Comal County, SJRC, belong, DFBS, and the City of Valverde. We thank each of you for your commitment to the children that we serve. The Children's Advocacy Center of Comal County in 2025 received 2,691 reports of child abuse, including physical and sexual abuse. We completed 318 forensic interviews within a calendar year of 2025. We serve around 400 children a year. Over the last 21 years, we've served over 8,000 children. So thank you. Yeah. All right, moving along to 2C, Police Department Summary of March 2026 Activities. Good evening.
All right, Mayor Council, what we have for you should have the April 7th, 2026, our March monthly report. The police department responded. Sorry about that. What you have before you is the March 2026 monthly report for the Fulton Police Department. We responded to 1,325 calls for service. During that time, we effected 27 total arrests. During that month, we investigated 26 crashes. Our traffic enforcement for the month was 633 citations for a total of 739 violations, with 266 of those being warnings. Our average speed citation over the limit, Highway 281 is still kind of high, it's 23.3. Highway 46 is 19.7. FM 1863 is 15 miles an hour the speed limit, and every other road within the city limits is 21.5. As we move forward our investigations, we had 14 animal control cases. We closed 15 of those cases, and one of those down at the bottom you can see is a loose livestock call. Our criminal investigations division, we had 50 assigned cases for a total of 6 calls for service. We had 6 Chapter 47 hearings, 1 Chapter 59 hearing. Out of those cases investigated, 2 citations were issued. Our court bailiff, we assisted with those duties for 4 hours during that time period. We filed 44 cases with the Comal County District Attorney's Office. We completed 81 interviews. We had 7 reports. We supplemented 185 different reports, and then we issued 5 warrants of arrest for the month. As you can see, we were pretty busy. Does council have any questions, comments?
One question. We issued 5 warrants. How many of those were closed? Are all of them closed too?
The warrants are associated to those active cases or the cases filed, so those get attached to those.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. How's Chief? He's doing pretty good. Thank you for asking. I did get to talk to him, and he sounds better. He's coming along, so I haven't got to talk to him today, but I think he's doing pretty good.
And how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. We're just, we want to keep everything going good and do a good job, and we appreciate support. We appreciate your time and a little bit of grace during this period as we help step in and take on those extra duties, which, you know, it's part of it. So we really appreciate the support.
I know that there's a lot of businesses concerned about the recent break-ins up at Urban Branch and all that up there. Do we have anything going on that? I mean, it definitely appears like it's the same guy that's hitting all those places.
We are working on multiple leads. It's unfortunately that one lead, I would say, we haven't been able to find yet. And it's kind of like, when you work a case, sometimes you start at the beginning and you have to go backwards. And it's, I'm sure all y'all have seen the crime, so sometimes criminal investigations can be hard. So we're trying to get those pieces and get this person arrested. Thanks, sir. Yes, sir.
Did we respond to the accident this morning?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
Thank you for
Thank
stepping
you.
up. Yep, thank you for stepping up and filling in the role.
Yes, sir. Thanks for your time. Thank you.
All right. Come on down, Sharon.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So this month we had revenues collected at $2,129,817. The majority of that is the second large lump sum that we get from our ad valorem taxes. Revenues collected for the month of February through the month of February, I'm sorry, $5,579,000, which is about 52.83% of our budget. Let's see, sales tax, happy to report that we're within $370 of our budget for February. March, not so much, but it's okay. Good news, bad news. Expenditures for the month, just average $711,107. Year to date expenditures, $3,684,500 and some change thousand, about 36.4%. And we're right at about 41.6% of our year. So that's actually kind of right on par, of course. For the sales tax, like I said, we're within $370 of our budget. So I was really excited to see that until I got our March information. Kind of deflated my balloon just a little bit there. But we're close. Year to year, now this is where we get kind of confusing again because we have the audit monies from last year where they brought in $132,000 in audit monies. So minus the audit monies year to year, we're within 9991% of our collections from this year to last year. And interest is the interest earned, $31,726 for the month of March. Do y'all have any questions or concerns?
Councilman Hayes?
No.
Councilman Alexander?
Yeah, so, looking at, like you said, looking at February 25, that was a big spike in sales tax revenue last year, and then like a significant drop this year, which is interesting, right? Because, I don't know if that number was just, that's weird for
That was
February.
the $134,000 audit where they did a true up with one of the vendors here in town. They were reporting their sales tax incorrectly.
Okay.
The comptroller corrected it and then gave us, I think it was 132 or 134,000. So that's what that is. So that's why I have the comparison of this year to last year minus the audit monies to kind of give us something that may be a little more true to what we can expect.
That puts it back in line then.
Sort of, yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, because that's always like, wow, you get a spike like that of a difference, when everything
Yeah.
else.
I wish they would do an audit every month.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yep. That's it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Councilman Hopkins?
Any reason to be concerned about that trend as far as the sales tax revenue is concerned?
I personally I get concerned anytime I see the dip.
Yeah.
But I mean, inflation's up, prices are up, gas is up. So I'm not sure how to kind of really explain, what's happening other than maybe people aren't spending as much, in their discretionary monies. I don't know, groceries are high, everything's high. So I'm, just kind of keeping an eye on it. I mean, we're kind of along the lines of throughout the state of Texas. I mean, we're kind of even killed with everybody. So, spending's just down.
There's no rabbit in her hat though, right?
No.
Okay.
Unless we go outside and wave the flag, come shop. Come to Boulder. Yeah, I can't really explain it other than, just the economy is questioned right now. Everything's kind of up in the air, so we're not really sure.
For me, it's when I look at your report, it's the first place I go now just to see what the trend is like here in sales tax.
Yeah.
It's one area where we seem to be kind of underperforming, not that it's just an issue of what happens out in the community.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you.
Councilman Watson? Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Public Works?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. First of all, I do want to say, keep Chief Baker in our prayers. I know Nolan's been doing a great job, and we support the PD, support Nolan in anything that he needs. So, good man to have there. March was a busy month. Staff, we started ramping up, started our mowing season, tree trimming, and we did a lot of right-of-way maintenance. One of the projects that we started to do this past month, we started to do a lot of edge repair. You may have seen some of our guys on Casey Road, on Bulbury Road, and some of these roads that were having some severe type of edge repair. You know, we did Casey because it did have a pretty good sizable chunk of the asphalt missing. I know we're gonna be redoing that road here pretty soon, but it got to a point where it was just kind of a necessity for us to do. So our staff repaired some of that road work. We've also removed over 55 bandit signs throughout the city. We also did a lot of work at the community park. We replaced the benches, the slats for the benches and the tables. One of the projects we also completed was the electrical plug was installed in the gazebo. One of the big things we didn't do in March, we just finished doing it this past Saturday, was Big Trash Day. So I know we saw Councilman Hawkins there. Huge success. I know it's not part of March, but it just recently happened. We also did some improvements here at City Hall, replaced some flags, and the lights on the black poles were out, so we replaced some of that. Just a busy month, and it'll continue to be busy, especially with this rain that we're getting. The grass will be growing, trees will be growing, so it's going to be busy from here on out. I can answer any questions you may have.
Councilman Hayes.
No, no.
Councilman Alexander.
No, good.
Councilman Cox.
Hey, good job on the trash day. Saw you out there leading from the front.
Oh,
Appreciate you. That definitely is something that's high visibility. I know everyone appreciates it. So thank
Thank
you for making that successful.
Councilman.
The folks that are working now at Hammond Road and Bulverde Road for the road construction, is that part of our road construction project?
No, that
is
is-
that us or is that county?
that's come out. That's come out county. Yes. Wow.
Their traffic flag person directed a septic truck to pull in front of me without giving me a stop sign. And I
Mhm.
almost ran into it.
Yeah,
That was
I,
a real mess.
yeah, I saw them the other day, and it's kind of it was kind of frightening for them to be flagged that way they are. And I let their superintendent know that, you know,
Yeah,
the flagging is improved.
they need some direction on how to flag.
So this is part of that email. I think one of the constituents emailed us. I think everybody here on Almond Road.
Yeah.
It's different sections belong to Comau, some belong to us. It's the Comau part that was just needed that work done. So
Mhm.
and we've known that project, you know, a few months ahead of time. So they'll be also transferring over to Bulverde Road sections that are Comau. So probably once they finish that road, they'll come on this side. So
Councilman Watson. Thank you, for all that y'all are doing. I mean, it's being noticed, the mow and trim of the right of ways along here from 1863 look really nice. Thank you for getting that taken care of. And, also I had one question. You know, our lights outside on the city, you know, the colored lights that we
Yes.
have, can we make them red, white, and blue? Can you actually make them red, white, and blue?
I believe so.
For the 250? I don't have that. Okay. All right, and, like I said, thank you for all you're doing. The guys are done a really good job in a lot of different areas. So, and it's not going unnoticed. So thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
All right, let's move on. Parks and Recreation?
There's no report for Parks because we didn't need a quorum this last meeting, so there's no new updates.
There's no report. Do you know anything about the tree?
The tree, that is actually on
Their agenda?
the next agenda.
Okay,
Yes.
okay, it's on, okay.
Yes,
Next week.
next week's, yes.
All right,
So everything I think that was on that agenda is moving over.
it's moving over to next week. Okay. All right.
I just know that music in the park was canceled.
For
because of
this
weather.
Saturday?
No,
No, movies in the park. Movies in the park is this upcoming week.
oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
That's not
movies in the
canceled.
park.
Movies
Canceled.
on Saturday were canceled
Yes.
because of the weather.
But we're good.
We're so far, if depending on the weather, if it rains, you know, it continues to rain, we may cancel it just because the grounds may be too saturated and we don't want anybody, any of the grass there, so it depends. Depends on the weather. Mother Nature.
Thank you. Consent agenda items. All of the following items are considered to be routine by the city council. There will be no separate discussion on these items and will be enacted with one motion. Items may be removed by any council member by making such request prior to the motion and vote. Consider, so 3A is consider approval of the regular city council meetings for March 10th, 2026. 3B, consider approval of the city council CIP workshop meeting for March 23rd, 2026. And consider 3C is consider approval of city council meetings from March 24, 2026. We have a motion.
Point of order. I forwarded two typographical corrections to the acting city secretary, and I'm prepared to make a motion to accept these items subject to those typographical corrections. That's acceptable.
So what were these? We don't actually have meetings. Excuse me.
You need to pull it back instead.
Okay, yes, then that's the Tuesday, March 10th. Agenda items on the Tuesday, March 24th. I'm sorry, minutes. Those two.
So 3A and 3C will pull those out of consent. So we're only approving 3B. Okay, so do we have a motion to approve 3B?
I'll make a motion to approve 3B on the consent agenda items.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to regular agenda items. We're going to consider approval of a resolution that an accountant.
Sorry, point of order. I think we have to go back and
We gotta
do
go back, take this out.
4A.
Pull out.
Well, that's right. So we're going to motion to pull out of consent 3A and 3C.
You don't need a
Or
motion.
did I need to do that back?
You do not need a motion, they're probably better than individual.
Okay. So we're just going to.
You call the item 3A.
3A.
Go into whatever correction.
We have a question?
So, the correction for the March 10th minutes, item 4B. The motion was to approve contract 1 and 2 and accept the 2025 street maintenance plan as presented. We were missing a few words in there.
Bailey, can you go up on this so we can see where we're at on the March 10th? Can we go to 4? Can we do them here? Oh, wait a minute, we can do it on your, sorry.
Yeah, there it is, it's at the bottom of the screen now.
Here, 4A.
It was just missing a few words that didn't accurately, so it just didn't accurately reflect the motion. The motion was to approve contract 1 and 2 and accept the 2025 street maintenance plan as presented.
All right.
So with that correction, I move we accept those minutes for the Tuesday, March 10th, 2026 City Council meeting as corrected.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. 3C, consider approval of city council meeting minutes from March 24, 26. What's the item?
It was during, item 6. Keep going. Councilmember Watson requested. The request was, I would like to request an executive session agenda item for our next meeting for council to consult with legal counsel about the roles and responsibilities of city officials under the charter and city ordinances. No specific roles were mentioned. So with that correction, I'm prepared to move to accept the minutes for the Tuesday, March 24th, 2026 City Council meeting minutes as corrected.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Aye.
On the no. All right, regular agenda items. 4A, consider approval of a resolution adding accountant one, right? Susan Bramley as signatory of the City of Bulverde's bank and investment accounts.
Yes, ma'am. So, as a backup signature, even like with our issue that we had over this last month, we need to add Susan to the bank account so that she can sign the checks as well as access our accounts and our investment accounts as well. On the investment account, she won't necessarily be doing any transactions. She'll just have access to view the items and pull statements, things like that.
So she's a single signature. Is that what you're saying?
I'm sorry?
Single signature?
Yes.
We don't require one signature.
No, we require two. Yeah.
So it would be her and somebody
And
else.
somebody else. Yeah. That's what yeah, she would be the backup.
Right. Councilman Hayes,
I don't have a problem.
Councilman Alexander.
So is Mike Castro, you, and then this one would be the third, or
And Sandra.
it's Sandra?
Mhm.
Okay, so
Sandra.
there's four total.
Well, there will be four.
That
Yeah.
except we approved. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's it.
Councilman.
Accountant one, so that is on your hierarchy of promotion such that she's the entrance level.
Yes.
So is this responsibility consistent with that level in?
As a secondary signature, yes.
I just want to make
Yeah, because all of the invoices are reviewed when they're coded, they're reviewed when they're posted, they're reviewed when the when the payment batch is created. The first signature goes in, everything's reviewed by the first signer, and then the second signer would be her. And she would only be in case of the others being out of the office, which is kind of what we ran into with Sandra out, and then Mr. Castro was on vacation. We only had the one signer here, so we're trying to keep from having that happen again.
I gotcha. I understand this is a contingency, but I just want to make sure that we don't give responsibility to someone that is not at that level in our cities, et cetera. But it sounds like you've already given it due diligence, it's
Yep.
appropriate. That's all.
Yeah, as long as she's the second, as long as she's the second signature on the check.
Councilman Hawk.
Does the city have a probationary period for employees that are hired?
Not necessarily for this, other like vacation, things like that, they do a 6-month probationary period. We don't have for positions in the accounting field or in the accounting department, we don't have probationary.
So you feel that this employee is vetted enough to have signature authority in spite of the fact that they've been here for what, 30
As a
years?
secondary signature, yes. Yeah, the first signature will probably be myself or Mr. Castro in our absence. Or his absence or my absence, it'll be one of us plus her. Yeah.
I motion that we consider approval of a resolution adding account one Susan Bramley as signatory of the City of Bulverde's bank and investment accounts.
I second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Discuss and consider approval of an ordinance, City of Bulverde, Texas, amending the fiscal year 25-26 budget, repealing existing ordinances, providing a severability clause, and providing an effective date.
Yes, ma'am. Originally, when we created the budget, we had earmarked a salary for a assistant city manager. We put that money in the operating reserves. And I'd like to move that money over to cover the expenditures for salary, computers, training, software, all of that for the new position created in the admin, the accounting one position for the finance department.
Okay, Councilman Hayes.
So am I to believe that our accountant one, is it the same salary?
No, she is not.
Okay.
She is not. This is to cover the new
The setup,
the
basically.
setup. We had to buy all new furniture. We had to buy new computers. We've had to pay for software licenses and training. And some of that's gonna come in when we get ready to transition over. We're gonna have more training there for her as well. So there's some expenses that we're needing to cover.
That's my question.
Councilman Alexander.
Yeah, no, I was thinking the same thing, so,
Councilman
Her salary is appropriate for the position. We have given one.
Mike, you sure? Yeah. Okay, we talked about that.
Make sure once the money's gone.
You think this amount is appropriate to cover all the expense?
I do. There is a little wiggle room in there, probably maybe $30,000. And I just chose the full amount, what was allocated.
This is not criticism, but I feel like we make a lot of these budget amendments. We've done a lot of them this fiscal year, and I would imagine that some of that has to do with the fact that we parked a lot of things in accounts for just in case, and those events have come to pass. But I just kind of wanted to make a comment that we should maybe take a closer look at that this budget time, so that you're not having to constantly look things over.
Right, and we are doing that for fiscal year 2027. Very deep.
Thank you.
So out of the 120,000, what actually constitutes training?
Her training will probably, right now, $2,000 we had to pay out for her to get her user ID for the FundView software. We're gonna have to also have her trained in the Encode software that we're transitioning to. That one, I can't even guess on that, probably another $3,000 for that. I've had to purchase her a computer with the monitors. I think that came up to, I think it was $4,000 for that. No, I'm sorry, that was, I think it was $1,600 for that computer. We've had to buy her desk and the furniture that's in her office, and that's right at about $5,500.
You're saying there's a wiggle room of 30,000 that'll be left over out of this?
Yeah, by the time I pay,
So I guess my question would be, if we're billing $30,000, why are we not just transferring 90?
Yeah, that's a lot of,
I can change it. You want it to 90?
I think that would be more appropriate to do that.
because we can always pull that if you need.
Yeah.
That's my.
Any questions?
I mean, I think that goes back to, potential another budget amendment. If
Yeah,
we get her over, and we're just talking about that, and it's not gonna be enough to cover salary for the rest of the year, I don't think anyway, so. It's like, it's not gonna happen, right? So. You spend it or you don't, right? I mean, you can go back into savings at the end anyway, so. I don't think the 90 will
I
save
figured
it.
if I did the full amount, then I wouldn't have to come back and
Right,
ask later.
yeah, that would be my comment to that. I mean, I realize she probably won't need it all, but.
As long as we're judicious with the spending, I mean,
I'm just worried we may need it somewhere else.
I think $5,500 for some office furniture is a little ridiculous for the city of Liberty. That's like executive level furniture, but okay.
Any further questions? Yeah. Maybe I'll make a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve an ordinance of the city of Alberta, Texas, amending the fiscal year 2025 budget, dealing conflicting ordinances, providing acceptability clause, and providing an effective.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? No. Okay. 4C, discuss and consider direction to staff regarding the 2026 bar ditching culvert maintenance program.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We're back again with the drainage and culvert program. Pull up the presentation, please. Back in January 13th, we brought to council the proposal for the 26-year maintenance culvert program. At that time, council directed staff on 3 directives. First directive was to go ahead and bring back the outcome of the TCEQ violation, which, just to let you know, that it has been approved and signed by the city manager, has been submitted to TCEQ. The one final thing that we're waiting for TCEQ is just the final notification to proceed and the permit number for the MS4 plan, and then we can move forward.
So what did we end up with on that?
The actual fine itself, we actually submitted what's called this SEP, which is a special environmental project, or a special environmental project, which is the actual MS4 plan. The MS4 plan, which is developed by Freese Nichols, was the actual supplement. So we were able to use the fees that we were paying for the plan as in lieu of the fee of the fine. So it was accepted. Everybody agreed on the terms, so we submitted the terms, and so we're just waiting for the actual permanent stuff to move forward. So that's been done.
So we would have had to pay that.
We would have had to pay that. So it was kind of, it's done. The other directive that was given to staff was to bring the actual culverts and drainage that align with our 2026 road maintenance plan, which is in this proposal. We'll go to the next slide here in a minute. It'll have a map of that. And then the final third directive was to bring a citywide look of all the drainage and culverts throughout the city. Now, fortunately, we in the process of doing that, just because of the extensive project and the staff limitations, I don't have that ready. Just to give you an idea, we'll probably have it the next 4 to 6 months complete. You know, trying to track that down and map that it does get pretty extensive, especially with our mowing season coming up. It'll take us at least 4 to 6 months to do that. The second ask that the council directed staff to do is to bring you the map of the actual culvert overlay. So the map right here shows you the roads of 2026 road maintenance plans are highlighted in yellow. The actual culverts and drains are highlighted in red. So this slide right here shows you the first proposal, the proposal that was brought to you back last year and this year back in January. These culverts and drains were identified about a year ago. Most of them are in an OBN area that we identified that we wanted to use as a proposal. But the directive from council was to bring you the culverts and drains that align with the road maintenance plan. Proposal number 2, those are the drains that align with the road maintenance plan. These are just a few pictures. You know, we took a bunch of pictures of all the culverts and stuff, but once you see one, you kind of get an idea of what we're up against. Some of the culverts are just overgrown and brush. That one right there is the end cap is going to pop off on it. This is one on Woodward Hills where that big dip is at. You can see the picture on the left-hand side. That culvert's halfway full. So the need of culvert maintenance throughout the city is needed. Again, the culverts that we've selected and any type of work that we do on our culverts, whether it's the in-treatment, the culvert itself, will follow the storm drain design criteria manual that is in Boverty's plan. So we'll follow all the guidelines. You know, can answer any questions that you may have regarding the drainage plan.
Councilman Hayes?
Based on what we have, I don't really have that. I mean, I definitely see that culverts are an issue. You know, pictures that you provide, we know these areas where they're an issue. Definitely gonna have some bids, know where we're at, know where to do it. So, I'm okay with it.
So, when will, question on MS4, when will MS4 be out for reviews? They have tiers, right? Like your 1-year tier, your 2 to 4-year tier program. And, you know, that implements some of these, I guess, how the storm drainage can be handled usually, right?
The MS4 plan, the MS4 plan itself, I think it's a 4-year plan.
4 years.
It's a 4-year plan, yes.
It tells, I guess it's like an incremental, like, I guess they want to see how the stormwater's, better, how we're improving the stormwater quality, right?
Yeah, basically what the MS4 plan will do is we supply and we provide TCQ with a map of our storm drains, which include the bar ditches and includes the areas up in Singing Hills. We give that to them. What our responsibility as the city is to create online opportunity for somebody to submit, say somebody is discharging oil down or discharging oil in the stormwater drain. They submit that to us, and it's our responsibility to go and investigate that. It also includes any type of disturbance of any acreage over 1 acre, 80% of development throughout the city. We have to go make sure that the slips are, make sure they have silk fencing, make sure they have the concrete driveway, rock driveway to make sure that there's no mud coming on the street. So we provide that information over to TCEQ. TCEQ, and also we also have to provide the residents with all the information, what not to drill in the storm drains. Picking up your poop.
Yeah.
Dog poop, not your poop, but that came out wrong. Yeah, animal feces. So we do educate our residents. We pass out flyers. So we provide this overall map to make sure that we know all this.
Yeah,
now they audit us
Yeah.
every 4 years.
Okay.
So that information is documented, and we keep track of that documentation every year. So when they come audit us, we provide them with that information.
Okay, so I know it's two-part. I'm getting to where the storm drain. I know that there's got to be some water quality improvement typically on MS4s. So I know that some of that I hope to tie into this, right? And by cleaning them out. When will that be public? I guess.
Yeah, stormwater quality.
That's the MS4 plan.
The MS4 plan, as soon as we get the permit, we're able to
Put it on the
put it on
website.
the website.
Okay.
Until we get that permit number, that we can't put it in.
Okay. Yeah. So I think this needs to be done, right? And the other thing is the season. Do you have a season indicated? Is there a season that you prefer to do this? And like is it after the spring, into the the dry.
The maintenance
season?
culverts, the maintenance. Okay, so 2 things. One, if council directive is to go with proposal number 2, which is the culverts and drains that are aligned with our road maintenance plan, which again, our road maintenance plan begins June 1st. We would try to get that done first. If it's the proposal number 2, we have time to do that. Because none of those projects are, well, I take it back. There are 2 projects on that proposal 1 and proposal 2 that overlap. Other than those 2, it could be in May, July, August.
Let me clarify, that's for OEM that we're talking about?
Most of those, yes, the first
So
proposal.
you said proposal 2, but proposal 2.
Proposal one
Yeah,
is what I think.
yeah, so it's
Yes,
proposal 1.
proposal 1, yes. Correct.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So summer.
Yes.
Okay.
summer.
Yeah. No, I support it. I think we need to move forward.
You good?
Aaron, you indicated that it might take another 30 to 60 days to have a complete map before you're finished with that. Did you have any existing map of culverts and drainage to work with?
4 to 6 months.
4 to 6 months.
For 6 months.
So you had nothing to work with. You're basically putting this all together.
Yeah, we started from scratch, beginning last year, with the initial list, identifying those.
But there was no existing map.
No, I don't
Culverts?
have an existing map.
No existing map.
No.
Okay. That's my question.
I have a lot of questions. I plugged all of this into a spreadsheet. And it looks like the first 7 items that would be rated sort of critical or high importance mostly tie out to streets where we're contemplating road work.
Mhm.
And those are things that are full culvert replacements, setting sun, sunlight drive, spreading hose, and then sort of more high effort, the CIIP, that was interesting to read about what that's about. On Bobcat, Verde Hills and Casey Road. I guess my question is it realistic to say that we could do work of that magnitude and get it done before the road maintenance work that's supposed to start June 1st? Or are we kidding ourselves?
You know, some of these projects that are on this list, you can do the work because some of them, you're not gonna have to disturb the actual road itself.
I understand that. I'm talking about these 6 or 7 at the top where we're doing full culvert replacement. Is it realistic that we're gonna have to, those are all in proposal 2. So it's Setting Sun, Spreading Oak, Bobcat, Verde Hills. Those potentially looked to me like they could interfere with road work. Is it reasonable that we could get those done?
My professional opinion, it depends on us setting out the bid, prioritizing,
Those
the
items.
needs, yeah. And then saying, hey, this is what we need done. Identify these first, get these done first. And again, the other obstacle that we'll be facing is the funding itself. Because we may not be able to do all of that. So it just depends on once we go out with it.
Do you have a ballpark for what any of this is gonna cost?
No, I would say each one, I mean, it depends on if we have to do a full replacement culvert within treatment, it'll probably run you anywhere from like 15 to 20,000.
That's what my research.
What do we have currently budgeted for this?
100,000.
Okay, so your feeling is that if we move ahead with this, we potentially could, these 4 or 5 critical full culvert replacements could maybe be done before we do the road work at those locations?
It is possible.
Is our road work contract provide for coordination with other contractors? Is there anything in that contract that
Yes,
would help us out?
yeah, I think their contract would allow them to have subs to work off of their contract. Now, the company that that's doing our road maintenance plan, they also do culvert drainage stuff.
I was more concerned about, assuming we send this out to bid and we've got another contractor that needs access, like, are there provisions in our contract on the road maintenance side of things that would require them to work with us to make that scheduling possible?
I would have to look into
What
that.
I'm getting at is, are we throwing a grenade in the middle of, by pursuing those 4 or 5 now?
I'd have to review that contract to see if that is a possibility. But I've worked with many contractors which work with other contractors to try to get things done. And again, it also depends on that contractor's schedule, whether he's got availability or not.
Sure. And I had a question about sort of what's customary for things to be done in-house. And I did a little reading, which means I know just enough to be dangerous. So I'll ask the question. With your existing team, how much of this work could be done in-house? And I'm looking especially at the regrading. Do we have a skid steer? We do, don't we?
No.
We rent one. Okay.
We rent.
So, is any of this work that we could, the regrading work, is that anything that we could be chipping away at in-house? Does it have to go out for bid?
Yeah, and the answer to that is yes, there's a possibility of in-house staff to do it. We rent, not a skid steer, we probably rent a mini excavator to do some of this work.
Yeah.
And I would say maybe 2 or 3 of these are possibilities that staff can do. Which, approving this first proposal, we'd go through there and say, hey, this one we're gonna do in-house, this one we're gonna do in-house. Obviously, the ones that will require culvert replacement.
Culvert replacement, right, has to go out, but I was looking at regrading and treatments.
Yeah, like yeah. Now the end treatments, that would require concrete work. I give my staff credit. I mean, they've if I taught them and showed them how to do
I
it.
mean, that's because I don't know if that, I don't know if that's in the scope.
I would say no at this moment, just because of the funding and, you know, the time it would take to teach them to do that and all the process and stepping to do that. Now, the regrading stuff of it can be done by staff.
So I know that we have at least one property on this list, with a homeowner who's been agitating for getting something done. And so I'm inclined to action on the things that we can do something about in relatively short order. But I'm also not in favor of lobbing giant grenades into plans that have already been made. So curious to know what your thoughts are about that.
So on that particular property, that would have to be outsourced. That would be something for somebody to do because in that area, there's a lot of limestone. And so that would require heavier equipment to regrade that. The contour that section does require special regrading of it. So it's something that I would try to contact them.
And I noticed that property is not on the second the proposal too.
Correct, because Deerfield Terrace is not part of the road.
Understood. So, realistically, if you put out a proposal for bid, what are we looking at for getting bids back for us to consider
I mean,
in terms of time?
as soon as possible, you know, by next council meeting, by next month,
May.
May.
And would it be possible for you to do some combination of proposal 1 and 2, or bid them both separately, or bid them by line item?
We could do, I mean, the directive that I was given by council was to bring, you know, the culverts
Sure.
that bring, you know, that are part of the road maintenance plan, and of course, my original proposal. So a combination means the directive from council. The one thing we don't want to do is delay it at least another month, because once we do delay it, it almost answer that question that we won't get to.
Sure, yeah.
So, Aaron, can you explain, maybe let me just say this. Okay, so, had the opportunity to go and look at some of these. And if you look in some of the drainage areas, these are on settings done. The road on top of it has actually collapsed, right? Because the drainage has altered on the inside of it. So those were going to be the ones that have to have complete drainage. At the same time, setting sun is going to be a road that's going to be repaired. If we can get this out for bid pretty quick, right? There's a possibility that maybe we can have those repaired before the road people come in and fix it. Or, you know, who knows? Maybe this company, you know, does drainage ditches at the same time and they give us a great bid. Who knows? I don't know. But where I'm going with that is that if we go ahead with proposal 2, because it has the majority of the roads that are going to be, you know, these are the ones, the roads that are going to be repaired. Then we may be able to save some funds on us not having to fix that road twice. Like, we're going to cover it on the first time, you know, then we're going to go back, tear it up, or vice versa, or whatever it is. If we do it in conjunction to where maybe it's, and not only that, the neighbors aren't going to want 2 jobs there, right? They're going to want 1 job, correct? And so if we do it all at the same time or in conjunction with, I very much look at it as I'm in favor of proposal 2. I will make that comment just because of the roads that are going there, and that will fix some of those issues of those roads being repaired at the same time. And that's not paying twice to have that done. Okay, if you do it at a different time, before or after that road's up, now you torn it up, or whatever. I think there are some items in between here that we can get done on the, you know, our guys can do some of this stuff. And I think that'll be okay for Eric to see items that can be to reduce this. But my thought of this is going out for a bid proposal for number 2, just because based upon that we're going to have those roads done anyway. Will we be able to afford everything on here? Maybe not. Yeah. Okay. We have a set amount of money. Do we have to address 30707? Yes, we need to address that too. Yeah. But let's go for the proposal on 2. We can get a separate one. Can we get a separate
Can we
Just
just
for that
add,
30707?
we could just add it to proposal two, right?
Like, can we get a proposal just for that job? Or does it have to be like?
I think we need to get an itemized for all of these.
Yeah, I was gonna say two things. One, go and get your proposal and include the Deerfield.
Yes.
That's a part of that, but two, go hit the contractor up and see what a change order would
Would be.
incorporate all of these
Yeah.
to be itemized. Right? So then you've got apples to apples, and we can compare that and come back. I would think, and maybe this is wishful thinking on my part, that for the contractor, because there isn't a second mobilization cost or mobilization
Correct.
charge, that we may see the benefit of having that
100%.
contractor
Yeah.
employed just once.
And I agree completely with you.
And doing that change order, if we do that change order, right, because we did leave some money in there, I don't know how that happened, I'm not the accountant person.
Right.
But this is my thought process of going with proposal two, making sure we take care of that Deerfield. And, going that way, and, if y'all think different or have a different opinion, by all means, let's hear about it. But I think that would be a good start for us, never have done this before, and, going that way. But the roads the roads that are bad are bad.
And there, I would add this too, if the contractor knows we've got out the bid, that may be incentive for them not to gouge us. I use that
Yeah.
term loosely, but not to, celebrate their charges. As if we didn't have it out, that we were just trusting
Right.
the contractor and their good graces.
Absolutely.
Now we've got some competition.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with that 100%. I just think that it's better to do this in conjunction. And I think our constituents will be very happy that our roads don't get tore up twice. They're all gonna match, they're all gonna be seamless.
100%.
Because we had talked before, and correct me if I'm wrong, that when they go out to do these roads, they're gonna do it from the start to the end. It's not gonna be done in parts and parcels, right? They're gonna go through and try and do them all together at the same time. So
Yeah,
you're doing static sun, they're gonna do it all the way, right? So let's keep it. Absolutely. And so thought process for me would be the proposal two, with the addition of Deerfield.
Yep.
And, go from there.
Yeah, itemized for each one.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, because we may have to cut some of these out, but then we need to look also when we do that, which one of these actually do not need road repair after or before. So
Yeah, because there's one where the big dip is at.
Yep.
We're
that
not
one's
gonna-
not a hurry. That's
that
never-
one we can go in anytime we want.
Yeah.
So can I just ask, if we're gonna request itemized, then how do you feel about including everything that requires regrading? Because what I'm hearing you say is that that's gonna be part of.
Okay,
the
So this one over here, just so you know, proposal one.
Yeah.
Does not include any road work. So
No,
it would be
right.
an addition, if the guys, if we end up with the same company, this one will be addition to where they're not currently already working. So, we may not be able to.
I understand. I'm looking down proposal two, and there are 3 Deerfield Terrace, Highline, Monica View, and Old Bernie Road, Verde Crossing that are not in proposal two, that were in proposal one. And I'm just saying, if we're gonna do
You wanna
itemized
add
bids,
those three.
that's what I'm saying. Can we add those to the?
Can we add Hill Line, Old Bernie and Deerfield?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just for the bids, and then we can figure out if we can
Yeah.
afford to do all that.
Because like on Old Bernie and Bernie Crossing, I staff can do that one.
Okay,
Always okay, that's what I'm
I
saying.
mean, y'all already
These
done
are
work
easy
at
ones.
intersection.
Yeah, we've actually started doing a lot of this stuff,
I feel bad.
No, this
Guys
is,
get trained.
I looked at it, I went to, Mitch Breed's.
Okay,
All right, so I'm gonna make a motion that, we go out for bid for proposal two, adding Hill Line, Old Bernie, 30707 Deerfield Terrace, and for each one of them to be itemized. And,
A second that.
second that. Everybody agree with what we just said? Yes?
Contractor change order.
Contractor change order? Yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a bid and a contract change order, is that what you're saying? Yes, correct, that's, yes. Okay, yes. All right, do I have a second for that motion?
Second.
Yeah, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
thanks, Aaron.
Okay, okay, we're gonna do public comments. And, right now, we have Donna Zucker on the comment.
Donna Bunker, President of the Liberty Spring Range Chamber. One, I just want to announce that we will be doing our community-wide Shred Day event this Saturday at Bill Brown Elementary, barring lightning and thunder. We're going to try to have some tents out there and make sure the moisture doesn't get into the paper. We will have 3 trucks there because we have filled up 2 trucks twice with the April event, so we will have that. The following week, I want to thank the PD and others and the County Sheriff's Department for working with us on the DEA drug collection day. So Shred Day will be from 9 to 12 on the 18th, and on the 25th, it'll be from 10 to 2. We'll be collecting at the Wolverine PD and also at the Fire and Ammo Station on Redwood Drive. So, and I do have just one question. I was reading.
Can I ask you a question? Sure. The DEA collection, we get a good turnout with that. I mean,
It depends. We always have 1 or 2 traveling nurses come through with a lot of stuff, but I would say last time we didn't actually weigh it, but we had 6 or 7 big boxes full of medications at both locations.
Are they allowed to bring sharps?
No,
No, just medication.
it's just medications. Yeah. So, any other questions regarding those? The other thing, and I know y'all can't respond to this, but I just want to ask a question. I was reading through the minutes of the meeting from March 10th, and it had on there 4C, which was the ordinance regarding the requirement for maintenance of right-of-ways by adjacent landowners. And I just wanted to know if there was going to be an FAQ or anything like that done, because a lot of our business owners own land that front streets and in the city limits, and how, what the requirements or what the expectations are. So I didn't know if there was like an FAQ or something that's going to be done that we can share with our members, because, I'm sure it makes the difference if it's something that fronts 46 versus something that fronts Highway 281 versus something that fronts Bulverde Road that's just in the city limits. So just kind of wanted to be able to share with our members, this is the new expectation. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else?
May I ask that question though?
All right, now as reports by elected officials, city staff, and items of community interest, I would like to definitely say that we're keeping our chief, Haker, in our prayers, and hopefully having a speedy recovery. Gosh, our last 2 weeks have been absolutely unbelievable of things that have happened in our city. I don't know how hard or how much I could have prayed in the last 2 weeks for our city. It's been trying, especially on our police department, who I just want to say thank you to for all y'all's service, everything y'all have done. Even up to this morning, thank you. I know that was hard. For those of you who don't know, we had a fatality accident at 1863 281 this morning. Very ugly accident. And I know about it because I actually was on my way to work this morning. It was bad. Anyway, I want to say thank you for y'all's dedication and everything you're doing to support our city. To our staff, I know it was very trying 2 Mondays ago, and I want to tell y'all thank you so much. You did a very good job. We were able to get it together and make sure that we were really to support those who we needed to support at that time. And I'm very proud of our staff and our anybody?
Yes.
Anybody else? Okay, so we will move on to 7. We're going to do an executive session. So I called you 7:38.
Yes, Karen. I continue to read the
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. 7:38. In accordance with Texas Code 551.074 and 551.071. I thought I was gonna get away with my call. Consultation with attorney. City council will meet in closed session to speak the advice of the attorney about pending contemplated litigation, a settlement offer, or when a matter of which the duty of the attorney to city council, Texas disciplinary rules of professional conduct of the state bar of Texas clearly conflicts with Texas government code, chapter 551 on the following matters. 7A, police age code versus the city of Bulverde clause number C2025. 0740A, a lawsuit pending in the 26th District Court of Comal County. 7B, Comal ISD interlocal agreement in Texas Government Code 418.1873. 7C, floodplain violation 1293S, Bitch. 7D, roles and responsibilities of city officials, Bulverde City Charter Code of Ordinances. 7E, development agreement. And 2G FM 1863 Limited. We will close it out at 7:40. Back to order, 10:21 p.m. All right, so we have an action item on 8B, no action item on 8A. On 8B, consider and take possible action on the Carmel ISD interlocal agreement and Texas government code. I'll make a motion that we move to obtain counsel.
I would suggest authorizing the city manager to take any necessary
Yes.
action.
That's what I'm thinking. And to let the city manager make any decisions that need to be made in regard.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 8C, consider and take possible action on floodplain violation located at 1293. Can you make that one?
I can make it. I'd like to make a motion that we authorize legal counsels to take all legal action.
Second.
On legal action located at,
Necessary to bring them into compliance.
yes. 1293 Addison Ridge.
Yes, at 1293 Addison Ridge.
Is that right? Did we get that wording right? Okay.
It's authorizing the flood damage prevention order, if you want to add that too.
Say that again?
As authorized under the flood damage prevention regulations that cities,
Do we add that wording to the,
yes, you can if you'd like. It's
It's a good idea.
okay, so as
authorized under the city's flood damage
authorized under the city's flood damage
prevention regulations
prevention regulations
and applicable water code.
and applicable water code.
Yeah.
I think we need to do that one on
Okay,
our.
so Hawkins and then Alexander, got it. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, and the rest are no action. All right, we can adjourn this meeting at 10:24 p.m.